You just signed for a Land Rover. The paperwork is done, the keys are warm in your hand, and the salesperson walked you to the door with a handshake. What never made it into that folder is that Land Rover sits near the bottom of every dependability ranking sold in America, and the real bill for that badge starts the moment you leave the lot. 10 things your dealer will never volunteer, starting with the screen in front of you. Number 10. Your PIVI Pro system is already metering what feels like a free feature. Every new Land Rover ships with a trial window of In-Control Remote and Protect, the service that locks, unlocks, starts, and locates your vehicle from your phone, along with stolen vehicle tracking and an SOS emergency call button. Owners report that once the trial lapses, renewal comes as a single bundled price of $119 a year. Remote and Protect together, with no cheaper tier and no splitting the two apart. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto keep working regardless of subscription status, so the phone mirroring you actually use every day was never the leverage. The leverage is remote start and theft tracking, quietly reframed as an annual bill instead of the feature you thought you already paid for. Check your trial end date in the app now, because renewing after it lapses never gets you a better price than renewing before. Number 9. Your Range Rover is depreciating faster than almost anything else wearing a luxury badge. Independent pricing, data tracking real transactions puts a Range Rover at roughly 68% of its value gone after 3 years, 74% gone after 5 years, and 86% gone after a decade on the road. Compare that to a BMW X5, which still holds close to 40% of its original sticker price at the 5-year mark, or a Toyota Land Cruiser, which can lose as little as 35% in that same window. On a car that started near $100,000, that curve means tens of thousands of dollars evaporate before you have finished paying it off. That badge on the grill was never building equity, it was renting status, and the invoice for that rental gets written the day you sign, not the day you eventually sell. Number 8. Nobody in the finance office is gonna run the real insurance number for you before you sign. A new Range Rover Sport can cost close to $23,000 a year to insure, nearly $2,000 a month before a single mile has been driven. Routine annual maintenance adds close to $2,000 more on top of that, every single year you own it. Neither figure comes up during price negotiation because neither one has anything to do with the number on the window. Get a real insurance quote before you sign a single document, not after, because the payment you agreed to in that office was never the full payment. Number 7. Land Rover does not guarantee you a loaner car while yours sits in the shop. Unlike some rival luxury brands that build a loaner fleet directly into the ownership experience, Land Rover as a manufacturer does not standardly provide one. Individual dealers may offer a limited number on a first-come, first-served basis, but it is a courtesy extended at that dealer's discretion, not a company-wide policy, and nobody volunteers that distinction at delivery. Ask your specific dealer in writing what happens the week your Land Rover needs a part that is on back order, because for this brand, that week tends to come eventually, and a rideshare credit is not the same as a car. Number 6. The reliability numbers your dealer is sitting on are worse than anyone in that showroom will say out loud. J.D. Power's most recent vehicle dependability study ranked Land Rover 26th out of 30 brands sold in America, with 270 problems reported per 100 vehicles, against a study average of 202. RepairPal ranked the brand 31st out of 32 for overall reliability, giving it 2.5 stars out of 5 and citing repair costs and issue severity above the segment norm. None of this means Land Rover builds a bad vehicle. The engineering underneath it and the off-road capability are genuinely excellent. It means the ownership experience past the honeymoon phase is statistically rougher than almost anything else parked in that same price bracket, and that gap is exactly what the next 4 points are built on. Number 5. The certified pre-owned badge is not protection against a catastrophic failure. Land Rover approved vehicles go through a genuine 165-point inspection with a real transferable warranty attached, so the program itself is not a scam dressed up as reassurance. But one documented case involved a certified pre-owned Range Rover Sport whose timing chain failed at just 65,000 miles, requiring a full engine replacement invoiced at $39,000, and the owner described roughly 6 months of delay before the dealer finally honored the claim. That is a single reported case, not a universal outcome, but it is exactly the kind of failure a checklist was never built to predict. Do your own inspection within the first week, regardless of the paperwork, because a clean sign-off sheet is not a promise about what happens at mile 65,001. Number 4. Here is the one dealer pitch on this list that actually deserves your attention instead of your skepticism. Most videos like this one tell you to walk straight past the extended warranty, treat it as pure profit margin dressed up as protection. For this brand specifically, given the dependability numbers you just heard, that advice flips completely. Land Rover Vehicle Service Protection extends factory coverage up to 7 years or 120,000 miles, and on a vehicle with a documented above average failure rate, that math genuinely works in your favor more often than it would on a Toyota or a Honda, where the same money would likely go to waste. Shop the price against third-party providers before you agree to the dealership's number, since the coverage itself is often close to identical for less money elsewhere, but do not reflexively decline this one the way you would on a more reliable car, because here the odds are not exactly in your favor to begin with. Number 3. Using an independent shop does not touch your warranty, and every Land Rover dealer already knows it. Federal law since 1975, the Magnuson-Moss Warranty Act, makes it illegal for a manufacturer to require dealer-only maintenance as a condition of keeping your warranty intact. The dealer cannot blanket deny a claim just because a qualified independent shop touched the car first. The burden sits on them to prove that specific work caused a specific failure. Independent Land Rover specialists typically save owners around 20% on genuine parts alone, with meaningfully lower hourly labor rates layered on top of that. Diagnostic fees follow the same pattern industry-wide, often running $200 to $400 less outside the dealership walls for the exact same scan on the exact same fault codes. Your warranty survives the trip to a qualified independent shop. What does not survive that trip is the dealer's margin. Number 2. The repair bills waiting for you once warranty coverage ends do not arrive evenly. They land in a handful of brutal spikes. Air suspension work alone can run from roughly $1,400 to over $2,000 depending on the model, with owners on forums reporting complete jobs north of $2,800 in parts alone once a compressor and multiple air struts are involved. Add water pump and cooling system leaks in the $800 to $1,200 range, electronic module and sensor faults between $300 and $800 each, and routine brake service running $400 to $700 per axle. None of that shows up on the window sticker at delivery, and none of it is optional once it starts happening. Number 1. Add it all together, and the number on that window was only ever the entry fee. Cost tracking on a recent Range Rover Sport puts total 5-year ownership cost at just over $100,000 once depreciation, insurance, fuel, and maintenance are combined, with depreciation alone accounting for around $45,000 of that. Insurance can run close to $2,000 a month before anything else is factored in. Repairs after warranty land in the thousands per incident on a brand with a documented above average failure rate. None of this means you made a bad choice walking out of that dealership. A Land Rover does things almost nothing else on the road can do, and that is exactly why people keep signing regardless. It means the dealership sold you the entry fee and left the rest of that invoice for you to discover on your own, one bill at a time.